decrees. Let's get it. Mark and Will, yeah. Mark and Will, yeah. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Monday through Friday, player. Watch it while you on the go. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Catch them at 8 p.m. They gon' tell you what they know. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Monday through Friday, player. Watch it while you on the go. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Catch them at 8 p.m. They gon' tell you what they know.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to another great episode of the Mark and Will Show. And of course, you got your favorite two hosts of the most, Mark and Will. What's up, my brother?
What's going on, man? Shoo! Got one coming today.
Yes,
we got two coming. We got two other stuff is coming. We got the weather.
Right.
The weather's coming.
The weather
big time.
definitely coming.
You know what I'm saying? Cross your fingers so we can stay on our
Rock
and
gold, yes, please.
plus we got head coach for Fern Creek, Coach Abell coming on here.
Yes,
We're
sir.
going to go ahead and do the thing, get to learn about the Fern Creek Tigers. So just hold tight. Hold tight.
Right.
He'll be on a little bit later. You guys should already know the recipe by now.
Right.
What's going to happen. So, you know, hey, how was your day, man?
I was good. It was good. It was warm, but a little warm, but I ain't complaining. But it was good. How was your day?
Oh, man, it was fine, man. Like I said, it's smooth Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, little Friday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hats off to Coach Roberts yesterday for joining us. Martha Lane, you know what I'm saying? It was a good interview. We appreciate him coming on here telling us about the program and his sports journey. So thank you big time like that, man. Hey, it is what it is, man. You know, so let's go on and get it rolling. You know what I'm saying? You guys already know. Website, www.markandwillshow.com. Check us out. Check it out. You'll be able to get to all our social medias through that. Like I said, I'm working this weekend or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We go ahead and try to get that Twitch on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, so everything's Mark and Will Show.
Everything.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Hard to find.
You know, Mark and Will Gaming. You got it. You understand it. Let's get it. Go ahead and make sure you guys visit it. Check out the podcast and all this kind of stuff like that. You can watch our show from her too. So you know what I'm saying. So you can just click on her and subscribe first.
Absolutely right.
Hit that like, share everything, anything you want to do. So you know, definitely got to hit that big time. Next week is FNC week on Friday, 8 p.m. Check it out. Nothing but bangers, big time. Nothing but bangers. So let's go ahead and quit playing. Gaming.
Here it comes. It's a great start. I'm not even going to tell you when. I'm not going to tell you, but it's coming. Stay tuned. It's going to be very entertaining.
Well,
especially when you got us on there.
The thing about it is Mark has already started some, so we already dropped on Twitch. You know, him doing the baseball, the home run derby. So check it out. Hear him commentating his own self, so you get a kick out of that. So check all that out, and you know what I'm saying? It's going to be more like that. Yeah. You know, so, you know, we talking and going at it and all this kind of stuff like that. And every time you're going to be commentating yourself, like Mark did, you know. So check it out. You're going to enjoy it big time. Absolutely. Let's playing. Let's roll!
All right, MLB, y'all know how we get the show started. I'm going to talk about the scores from yesterday, Wednesday, July 27 scores. Hate to say this score, but Philly beat Atlanta 7-2.
Man, why'd you have to say that again, man? You said it yesterday.
I feel like I've been saying it all week.
Ain't been a good week. Ain't been a good week. Because it was an early game yesterday.
Yeah. So you got the Dodgers who beat Washington yesterday 7-1. Detroit beat San Diego 4-3. Angels beat KC 4-0. Milwaukee took care of the Twins 10-4. Rockies beat the White Sox 6-5. A's beat Houston 4-2. Okay. Diamondbacks beat the Giants 5-3. Seattle beat Texas 4-2. Cincinnati Reds, they beat Miami 5-3. The Mets went on ahead and said, all right, Yankees, we don't care who y'all. Beat them 3-2.
Yankees. Go.
Right. Tampa Bay Rays beat the Orioles 6-4. St. Louis Rams beat the Blue Jays 6-1, and the Guardians beat the Red Sox 7-6.
Mm.
Then you got everything that's going on today, which is Thursday, July 28th.
Okay.
Phillies is up on Pittsburgh right now 4-0.
Right.
KC and the Yankees 0-0. Detroit and Blue Jays 1-1. Guardians and Red Sox. Guardians is up 1-0. Miami beat the Cincinnati Reds earlier today 7-6. The Orioles beat Tampa Bay earlier today 3-0. Then you got the games coming on tonight. You got the Rockies and the Dodgers, Seattle and Houston, Texas and Angels, Cubs and Giants.
Ooh, and I'll tell you what, I cannot wait to the trade deadline, which is August the 2nd, 6 p.m. So it's going to be some deals. Already some stuff going, but it's going to be some deals. Boy, it's going to get Soto. Go on. We already, hey, the ball's already out of there, you know what I'm saying? Let's go on and just do it.
Right.
Let's have an outfield with him, bro. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Let's go.
Right.
Let's go. Him
Right.
Acuna. Come on, man. Quit playing. Let's do that. Big time. So let's go and get the standings real quick. American League East, you got the Yankees with an 11.5 game. About 11.5 game, over a Blue Jays. Done lost two in a row. You know, that hurt. That hurts the Braves because who they beat.
Right.
Who they lost to. Central, you got the Minnesota Twins with a 1.5 game over the Guardians. Guardians were knocked out. West, you got the Astros with a 10 game lead over the Mariners. In the National League East, you got the Mets with a 3-game lead over the Braves. Come on, Braves, get it together.
Right.
Central, you got the Brewers with a 3-game lead. I mean, it's a mirror of Cardinals.
Yep.
And then the Dodgers with 11.5 cushion in San Diego. My goodness gracious. I mean, you know, what is going on?
Right.
That part.
Let's get to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Fun time.
Was it any WNBA games? Could we go? We definitely. I don't know if it was.
Was Tuesday? We hit the Tuesday.
Yep.
We hit the Tuesday. You got the Lynx and Dreams is on right now. Minnesota and Atlanta.
Okay.
You got Minnesota. They up 49-29 at halftime.
Okay.
Which that's crazy because it says Twitter. So I wonder if that game is on Twitter,
Yeah.
like literally.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, okay.
Right,
you got the Storm and the Sun. They on at halftime. The Suns is up 44-40. Then you got Washington and Dallas, which is actually going on right now, first quarter. Washington is up 11-6.
Okay.
Then you got Phoenix Suns in LA, who comes on at 10 o'clock.
All right. So as you all know, only 8 teams make it to the playoffs.
Yep.
So, you know, in 8th place is Atlanta Dream, 7th place Dallas Wings, 6th place the Sparks, which is Los Angeles. 5th place is Washington Mystics. 4th is Seattle Storm. 3rd place is Connecticut Sun. 2nd place and clinched a playoff berth already, and was the commissioner the clinched berth. Okay, won Commissioner's Cup, and also Chicago Sky is in first place. 1 game though lead over the Aces. Eliminated. You're officially done. You're done. Wait a minute, I ain't even played it in a while.
Nah,
you are officially done. The Indiana Fever. Done. It's over.
Yeah.
Eliminated. 5 wins and 25 losses.
Jesus.
We'll probably you'll get the number 1 pick again.
Absolutely.
You know, hopefully they go by that. I don't even know how they. You know,
I will hope they go by like
come
that
on,
too.
5. I'm sorry, Emily. You balled in Louisville, and you went from the Final Four team to the worst team.
To the worst.
Woo! That's the price of success.
That's the price of success, buddy.
So hey, it's getting good with that. So make sure you guys pay attention with that. So it's going to be good. Let's see real quick. Hey mom, hey guys, be safe, bless you. And we got Yashira on here. Good evening. How you doing?
What up?
So yes, y'all. Let's go on and get it. You know, yesterday we couldn't hit it. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna hit it today.
Yes, sir.
And what dropped in the lap right when I was about to head over her, the Seahawks extends wide receiver Metcalf.
Yep.
3 years, $72 million.
72 million.
$24 million a year extension. I don't know how much is guaranteed.
Oh shoot, I got you. It was guaranteed. I just had it. I know the signing bonus. As soon as he signed, he gets started.
What's that music?
Texas A&M. 58.2 million is guaranteed.
Ooh, that's
but
nice.
30 so he's a sign-on bonus.
Okay. Right. That's good. So I heard
Yeah,
you half man, half robot.
They had to do something. They didn't want him to leave.
Doing your stuff, so yeah, it'd be a mess. It'd really be a mess. All right, so let's get into some of the stuff that we was gonna try to get into yesterday, but couldn't. We had a lot of other stuff.
It was cracking with NBA.
That was juicy.
That's
Right off the bat, I think it's funny, and so don't get mad.
Don't.
So you got Deion Sanders and Ashanti Samuels. Now we know pretty much everybody's gonna pick one of Deion Sanders,
right?
but want to go ahead and get into actually how these numbers stack up for him. So basically, you got Deion Sanders with 53 interceptions. Now 188 games, 53 interceptions, 5 playoffs, interceptions, 2 Super Bowls.
Yep.
Ashanti Samuels 153 games, 51 interceptions, 7 playoff interceptions, 2 Super Bowls.
There you go again.
I haven't done this in a long time.
No.
I don't even know. I might do the wrong one, but let's see.
Stop it.
Whoever's making up this stuff, quit, man.
Yeah, they
quit.
This is ridiculous. We all know Deion's that
Come
guy.
on, man. Are you serious?
We know Deion's that guy.
And I put pick this so you can just see the numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
But everybody know you got to go with that dog.
Absolutely.
You got to go with that.
Shut
dog.
on the whole side of one field. Like, that's ridiculous. Wasn't nobody
and guarded the best receiver.
Right.
He wasn't like, I'm just going to stay right here. Just chill. Dude was like, where you at?
Right.
Mike Irvin, where you at?
Here I come.
Andre Rising stuff was just comical.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it was like, whoever's the best, and I got you, partner.
Yeah, I want you.
And they bet not throw over her.
They done tried many times. And failed.
Pew! Because that's one thing I would say. He is the only cornerback that I know. And I can say Daryl Green, if he catch it, you're not getting him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless you got a mean angle and he's got a bob and weave, but most of the time he's on an island by himself. So
exactly.
Pew! Touchdown. You're not getting it. And
right.
You can just stop. Most people did stop. They're like, hey,
whatever.
Yeah, because this dude's nasty with it. I heard you, man. Deion, man. Hey! Super Bowl Cowboy Deion Sanders! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! It's football season. It's here. I love it. Don't y'all love it?
Yeah,
yes, sir. You Uber. You Uber. I gotta see what's going on. Why is this lighting up that you can't really see the stuff there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, goodness gracious.
Right.
Let's hope that's it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Woo. I don't know what happened right there.
Right.
Let's get into it. Debo Samuels.
Yeah.
They working on a deal. I know every 49er fan is happy.
Right, absolutely.
But it don't mean he's going to sign the deal. Because I heard he wants stipulations in that contract. You cannot utilize him like as a running back as many times as he did. And that's that system.
Yes, it is. And you're the best player on the field.
Right. That's that system.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Miami, and I hate to do this, but because they got the offense coordinator, they're going to run the same system, right?
Yeah.
But you got 2 dudes that you could alternate with.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Waddle and Evans. So, but this one, he's like, dude, no, man, I want because at the end of the day, he wants to be paid like a top receiver.
Exactly.
He don't want to be paid like no running back.
Exactly.
He don't want to be paid like Cordell Patterson and all that. Nah, bro, you gonna have to feed me.
Right. And then on top of that, it's worrying on his body. Y'all got him keep playing running back, and all that he go to receiver, get banged up out there already. So I don't blame him. Just go on that sideline, train yourself, and that deal get done.
Give me a quarterback that can throw me the ball.
Well, we got Trey Lance.
Give me. I'm gonna say it again. Well, because I ain't seen it.
I know.
I mean, hopefully we'll see it. Hopefully see it. It's better. I mean, hopefully it's better than Jimmy G. So my shot wasn't more for Trey, but it was Jimmy G.
Yeah.
As far as, give me a quarterback who can throw it so I can go ahead and play receiver and do what I got to do. Dude's strong.
Yes.
You're not going to tackle him like on a regular old tackle, right? So you're going to have to bring it. You got whatever cornerback who does not like to tackle, you're not going to line up against him if he's running true routes.
Right.
Because you got to make the tackle. All that trying to just barely push somebody and they falling down, that ain't happening with him. He gonna break it and go.
That's a big boy right there.
Right. And he runs like a running back. Yes, so that's why they like what it is this go back to when you play little league football. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he's doing it at the highest level.
Yep, we need you right here.
Right.
Next, we're gonna put him at tight end.
Whatever.
Fullback.
Is Kittle's gonna play this year?
That's the question. Is he healthy? God, there's a lot of question marks going into the season.
Yeah, it is. It's a
Are
lot
you okay, kid?
Their dudes is getting longer than too. So, taking them hits, it looks cute when you're breaking tackles and going hard, but that body's like,
I'm a little tired.
Yeah, sit on down.
Yeah, let me sit down for a minute.
Sit on down. Here we go. This right here. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but really couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
Right there, you got defensive coordinator, play caller. Defensive coordinator, play caller. On Mahomes, take away his first read, he plays street ball. Mm-hmm. That's paraphrase what's going on.
Yeah, basically.
And like we talked about it, I think we talked about it off air.
Yeah, off air.
We talked
it was off air.
Okay.
Yeah.
My whole read is that to me his first read really was Kelsey.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I'm saying? Unless it was a play design for a boy.
But it's crazy because what he's saying, you're not lying, but at the same time, like with their offense, it's almost like you're saying it's designed for certain players.
Right.
So when he's dropping back, that first read, that play was probably meant for him.
Right.
Or meant for the cheetah, but he ain't there no more. We know that.
Right.
Or whatever. So they probably got certain packages, but he hit it. Nobody
said it. But I would say this. Let's be honest. Ain't too many quarterbacks out there that can get to that second read quick.
Quick like it, not with these
hands
is out
right, and he had to do. See, people realize he just started getting offensive linemen last year. Creed Humphrey.
Yeah, that run to the Super Bowl.
Orlando Brown Jr. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff like that. Because he had some old heads back, you know what I'm saying, when he first retired or injured, things like that, or now done left.
Mm-hmm.
That, of course, you don't have that much. And then you got to think, if that play is calling for a deep pass, hell, y'all got to run. Because this guy developed. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm going 1,000, 2,000,
right.
Oh goodness gracious, that's not. I got to go. You know what I'm saying?
And then it's funny because him saying this is crazy because we say it all the time. When he's outside that pocket, he's way better. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I think.
When he's outside of that pocket, he's 10 times better. And that's scary. Now you gotta come up on him because he's a little fast. He's Lamar fast, but he got a little speed.
And he look like he's going slow, but he's down the field.
Nah, he's rolling.
Yeah, he's down the field. Yeah,
so now you done came up. He's down there wide open.
Right, then it's gone.
You
gone. Yeah. So it's like, do you really? I mean, do you want him at that pocket? Well, he's doing street ball because if it's street ball, that means the whole thing is broken down.
The whole thing's broken down.
What are you gonna do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do? That type. So, yeah, I mean, I get you, but okay, that's
what you said.
And all these anonymous people saying all this stuff because they're scared to talk.
Come out and say it.
Scared to talk.
Come out and say it.
Scared to talk.
So, because what they're not gonna do because if he play your team this year, they're gonna torture you.
Oh, good God. Good God. It's not even gonna be funny, bro.
He's gonna torture you.
Because I would say this. Now, you will miss Cheetah.
You most definitely will miss Cheetah.
We know that. You will miss Cheetah.
Absolutely.
But they got a nice, solid core, bro.
Yeah, they do.
They got a nice little solid core.
A bunch of young cats on that team.
And some veterans.
Yeah,
Juju.
Yeah.
I'm a man, Vapwest, whatever, from Green Bay.
Yep.
You got Hardman. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You got all these. So you
got some pieces.
And big on C, because really, you still gonna be man on Kelsey. He got some dudes gonna be open, bro.
And that's the beautiful thing, because you ain't necessarily worried about Tyreek downfield.
Right.
But you got to go get it to him.
Right.
That
Right.
You spread that offense out.
But you just gotta be patient.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta be patient. That's gonna be the whole key, being patient like it. All right, one gotta go.
One got to go. Who we got?
Winston, Jimmy G, Tannehill, Golf.
He said, "What gotta go?" Golf went to a Super Bowl, but we all know how he got there. Tannehill, he got that beast in the back, so everybody's scared. Put eight in the box. That's why he could throw the ball. Jimmy, who am I cutting? I'm gonna keep Winston. I'm gonna show Winston some love. I'm keeping Winston.
You know, I like
even though he can go 50 for 50, I'm gonna keep Winston. He go 50 for 50.
50 TDs and 50 interceptions.
He can most definitely do that.
Lord have mercy. So you keeping Winston.
I'm keeping Winston. I'm a bad Tannehill. I gotta get rid of Tannehill.
All right, so Lil Bro put this on Mark and Will page, Facebook page. Check it out, Mark and Will Show.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I wanted to say one must stay.
And everybody,
One must stay. That part.
He's,
Do me a favor, can you go to Twitter and go to the message and tell them, hold on, tell them it's about 7.5 minutes, if you don't mind. So yeah, when I saw this, I was pretty much thinking one stay, three can go. Like two can go. Like I don't know who don't leave. That's the part. I don't know who. Coach Abell. AB.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So my thing is, I'm gonna keep Winston. See, and that's the thing about it. I'm sorry, Titans fan. I cannot stand Tannehill. I cannot stand Jimmy G. I'll go. All that is. This almost sounds like something that we came up with. Like the garbage quarterbacks.
The garbage
type thing,
quarterbacks,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we could, in the beauty of to move it along type stuff. One has to go. Jimmy G's been more successful than Golf has. Two, but we know Golf is kind of fit. Tannehill's not good.
Yeah.
This is why I want to rile you Titans fan up. Bye, Tannehill.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bye. But Golf, it got to go. Jimmy G got to go. when Winston is looking like the beauty queen,
and that's the thing.
That's a problem. That was probably the best got to go I ever seen.
Right.
Because everybody has to go on the screen.
Everybody got to go on the screen.
Everybody.
Yeah, you got to go 50 for 50, baby.
Yeah, man. That's, ooh.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Right there.
Ooh.
Best linebacker bracket. Finally got linebackers. Patrick Willis versus Clay.
See, but this one right here is almost like it's unfair.
It's
just
too
a little
early.
bit. It's unfair just a little bit because he had a shorter career. He retired all early. You know what I'm saying? Because the injuries and all of those crazy stuff or whatever. Can you imagine if he would have stayed?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dude got a longer career and he's great.
Oh, yeah.
He was
Matthews
good.
was a bad
They
boy.
both good.
To me, it's an early matchup.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm saying? It's like
this is a good.
it's an early matchup.
I like that. I love Patrick, dude.
Yeah, he was a throwback player.
Exactly.
It was a throwback.
Yes,
If you want a middle linebacker,
that was
he
him.
just ended it. You know what I'm saying? It's like
That was him.
I'm done. But he was a bad boy.
Clay was good too.
Mhm.
This is tough right here. This is tough.
Put in the comments who y'all think.
That's tough. Right
If you had to pick against Patrick Willis or Clay Matthews, who you keeping? Who's the better linebacker? You know what I'm saying? Because like Mark said,
Ooh-wee. That's good, dude. That's a good one. That's a good one.
that's a hard one.
Yeah, it is because his career was short, so we don't know what he could have really done in that short of time. Awesome,
Let me look at
but
it real quick.
Jesus, he didn't play that. He didn't play that long because he was talking about the CTE things and all that. He didn't want to go through it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done with that.
Yeah, he's like, I ain't with that.
Let me do my guy real quick, Patrick Willis, because we already know that old boy Matthews is a bad man, and
he was
Willis was
sideline
too.
to sideline, dude. Like Matthews was a problem. He was a problem.
All right, so Patrick Willis. So right now, what we got? Okay, I want to read the stats off for you. He played basically 7 to 8 years, 2007, 2014, so 7, but really it's 8 years. NFL Rookie of the Year, 2007. 5 first-team All-Pro, second-team All-Pro 1 time, 7 times Pro Bowl, 2 times NFL Tackle Leaders, NFL 2010 All-Decade Team, Buckets Award winner. Let me see, All-Rookie Team, San Francisco Hall of Fame, Jack Lambert Trophy, all this kind of shit. So let's go and go to. Let me go to Clay. I want to give him the fair chance to.
Right.
To read off his stats, Clay Matthews. Plus his lineage is ridiculous. His family. All right. Super Bowl champion, first team All Pro 1 time.
Yep.
Second team All Pro 1 time. 6-time Pro Bowl. That's it. 519 tackles, 91 and a half sacks. He played for like 9 years.
Yeah.
So about 2 more years than him. 6 interceptions, 17 forced fumble, 3 TDs. Let me go back to Patrick and see his stats.
See, because the crazy thing, they use Clay as like a defensive end too.
Oh yeah,
he was rushing quarterback
they
a
brought
lot too.
They brought him. Willis in a short period of time has more tackles, 950 tackles. He only had 20 and a half sacks, but that's coming from the middle line.
Yeah, exactly.
8 interceptions,
right.
16 forced fumbles, and 2 TDs. I'm going for Willis.
Yep, let's go.
I'm gonna go for Willis. It's hard.
No,
I just think it's too. I just think it's too early in the thing. But my God,
right?
Hey, my man, you're gone. You gotta go. So yeah, that's always fun. Like I said, guys, we'll be bringing it to you nonstop. We got a bracket. So we're going to go through it, tell you what we think. That right there was hard because Clay Matthews. I just think, like, who's on the other ones? That they had a matchup that early. Plus, they should have done a seed so I could see who they thought. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. All right, now let's go on and move forward. Let's go ahead and get Coach on here. He's been here waiting patiently. So we're going to bring him on right now, do what we got to do with Coach. Let me see. Get him on.
How we doing, fellas?
How you doing, Coach? Real quick, before we give you this grand introduction, I don't want to say your last name wrong. How you say your last name, Coach?
Abell.
Not Abell. Abell. That's what I was going through that all day. How I'm going to say Coach's name? Abell. All right. Here he goes, Coach.
Some of the kids at school butcher it way worse than Abell. Trust me.
Hey, I was trying to put a little French on it, Coach. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to say, okay, I'm going to go on and slicing and dicing this way.
Right.
All right, hey, guys, we got Coach Abell on here, Fern Creek High School head football coach.
Yep.
The Tigers is in the building. Thank you, Coach, for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. And you know what? I almost called the friend of yours and a friend of mine, Kendrick Haskins, when I saw that he already interviewed him. And so Kendrick, you know me, I was like, well, hold on. Because like, well, I interviewed him yesterday. I don't care, Kendrick. I don't care. And always, because Kendrick's been on the show, Kendrick, I know you're a Tiger. You're a Fern Creek Tiger. Yeah. But I hope you let Fern Creek know that you started at Mile High with me and everybody else. You're under me, so I'm going to get you. But that's okay. You're Fern Creek Tiger. But Kendrick, I got you. But nah, Coach, it's all love and fun, man. I'm glad you on here. it's excitement just to get you coaches on here and talk about the program and going through that like that. We know you're busy. We know it's going. The season's ready to rock and roll. How is I guess we could say pre-camp going right now for the Fern Creek Tigers?
It's going well. It's funny that you say we're all busy. When we originally scheduled me to be on tonight, we were supposed to be going away for camp that weekend,
Oh wow.
and some things had happened and things got kind of messed up, and so now we actually are leaving tomorrow morning to go away for our little team retreat. So yeah, it's definitely busy. We've had a very productive camp. Weather hasn't been super nice to us, right, with some of the rain and then followed by that humidity. But we've been going in the morning, doing some team meetings, getting some film in and stuff like that. So yeah, we're really pleased with how camp is going. Got a lot more work to do in the next couple of weeks before we're ready for a game, but yeah, we've been excited.
That's good, Coach. It's that time ain't nothing like it. You just when you step out, you just smell the freshly cut grass. Absolutely. It just brings back football memories and all that kind of good stuff. Coach, how long have you been at Fern Creek?
This will be my ninth season.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah, I got there and got there as assistant, I believe, in 2011, and then took over in 2014.
Wow, that's good stuff right there. Continuity and everything like that. So let's get into it, Coach. Like I always tell all the coaches, we know you're not gonna give us no plays or nothing, but what kind of offense does the Fern Creek Tigers run?
Yeah, I always love this question, right? It's a question that you get all the time, especially nowadays, and like I tell the kids, man, like offense is offense is offense is offense, right? Like I can show you some stuff that we've done over the years that looks completely different than what we're going to do this year, and vice versa. But if you wanted to be a style, we've always called it a hybrid wing tee.
Okay.
It's not 100% a wing. We like to put our quarterback in pistol. That way, he's got some space to do some things that you can't do in the traditional wing tee. But if you had to put a label on it, that's what we would be.
Coach, let me ask you this: is your background with that like an offensive coordinator or a defense coordinator or something like that? What was your background with as far as a coach?
I've always been offense up until just a couple years ago, and then that's when I went over to the dark side and started messing around with defense a little bit. Uh, but no, I'm definitely I'm an offensive lineman, right? That's what I played when I was in high school and college, and so I've always been an offensive guy. It was only recently that I jumped over to defense.
Like I saw something. I'm very fortunate ones to be doing a little when I bring on the guests and bring on kind of stuff. What high school did you go to?
I went to the Dirty DuPont. I went to DuPont Manual.
What year you come out, Coach?
I graduated in 04.
Okay, cool. Nah, yeah, I was.
Then after I
was rocking and rolling then, Coach. Man, I did some stuff, man. Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to talk to Keenan Burton this past week. We were trying to get him to come over and speak to our guys. He's down in Atlanta right now, but anytime I talk to Keenan, he always talks about my soft buns. I don't know if I can say that on your show or not, but I played center.
You're good.
I played center. He was my quarterback, and so he would always tell me he loved taking my snaps because I had soft buns. I didn't know if it was a compliment or an insult.
Yes, sir. That's a lot. Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you what, man. Yeah, y'all was rolling. Y'all was rolling in big time. And I think. I don't know if it's that year, but I forgot what year it was. But I took my nephews. The first game, actually, I took them to was the Mel Manu game, and let's see, I forgot when it was, but it wasn't too far off of 04 type stuff like that. That rivalry is nothing to be. That's a nitty gritty rivalry, and you know what I'm saying. Almost canceled the interview, Coach. I'm not gonna lie.
so it's
You kind of stumped
so
me,
you
there, Coach.
so you say you so what's it's funny when I was a player there I was on the field my sophomore year. My sophomore year was 2001. It was the first time that Manual had beat Male in 13 years.
Right,
Okay. And we had a really, really great team my sophomore year, and I was fortunate enough to be out there playing center. And you're young and dumb. You're 15 years old. I know Manual Male, but I didn't realize the gravity of that rivalry
right,
until I'm looking to my right and looking to my left, and my guards are balling. It's fourth
right.
quarter, clock's running down. It's one of my most fondest memories of high school is looking over at Kyle Coven and Travis Akers.
Uh,
And they're just balling because they finally did it.
right.
That rivalry matters. I was able to coach in some of those. Um, it's so cool to go up to the Football Hall of Fame and see the little segment there with that.
Right, right.
It's so cool. Yeah.
And that's good, man. I love it. You know what I'm saying? This is the experience. Like most people, man, you know, you just talk about it and how meaningful that was. And unless you've been in it, really been really close to the program to know about it, that right there is a biggie. Let me ask you this, Coach. What kind of defense do you guys run?
We're a traditional 4-4. We try to get into a couple of different fronts from time to time, but our home set is a 4-4, cover three, and you turn on our film, you'll see it. And I'm not hiding nothing with that. That's exactly what we've done for a long time, and we don't look to changing it. We've always prided ourselves on having a good sound defense. So yeah, we're a 4-4 cover three base.
So, has you like since you've been there that long? Have you always been, or do you like adapt to your players? You know what I'm saying? Because you know who's on your roster, who you got coming up the pike, and everything else. Do you guys? You know, I know you the leader of the program, but do you just sit back and like, you know what? Let's try to run this and doing that, even on the offensive side.
Yeah, no, I used to not believe in that, right? Well, let me back. I used to believe in changing it up based on your personnel, right? And so a couple years ago, I didn't think that we had really good outside linebackers, so we put in another defensive line, and we went to an odd front. And what it boiled down to is, you know what you know, and you are who you are. And I didn't coach up that team very, very well. So it was so funny because by the end of the year, we were going right back to what we knew and what we loved. So I do think there is give and take. You do have to be careful. You can't, like I say, put a square peg in a round hole,
Right,
right? That dog won't hunt, right? You can't if you don't have running backs, you can't run the wing T.
right,
So there's no sense in doing it, right? Um, but instead of us completely changing what we do our best to just adapt our play calling to our strengths in terms of our players. So I tell my OC and my DC all the time, we're going to make it hard for us to call a game, but we're going to try to make it easier for the players.
right. Yeah, that's definitely you got to do that. And let's go ahead and review, basically, Coach. Tell us about last year's team. Uh, you know, how you guys did last year and all this kind of stuff like that. So everybody get a review of Fern Creek last year.
Yeah, we had a really tough year last year, not just in wins and losses, but just anything that you can think about with running a football program. We really struggled. We had some cultural issues. We had some staff issues. There were a lot of things that it was just a bad year for us. I say that, and I take blame for a lot of those things, and I was able to self-reflect. And just like I tell our kids all the time, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I learned a lot from it. Kids learned a lot from it. One thing that I did a bad job of the last year was I made excuses for the kids in terms of how they acted and the things they were doing in the classrooms and things of that nature. These are COVID kids, and I felt bad for them. Our kids come from diverse backgrounds. We had some kids that had to go to work to help out. We had some kids that were nervous about bringing it home to their grannies because their grannies are the ones that are raising them.
Right.
So I did a lot of making excuses for them, and that really didn't do them any favors, and that definitely creeped into how we performed. It was a great group of kids last year, but this season, I took a step back and did some soul searching, reflecting, and I'm really excited about the changes we made this year, and I love our new staff. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a fun year for us.
Coach, you hit on something, and I think we pretty much we probably have done it with most of the coaches already. Uh, Being that you've been coaching for a while now, how how was that COVID, dealing with COVID, Coach? You know what I'm saying? You can't really do, you can only have so many players and things. Being a head coach has been around and you experienced, how was that, Coach?
Well, I can answer that question as a football coach and as a, sort of kind of administrator in the building. And I definitely understood how things go when you're talking about the decisions that leadership has to make. I get it. You got to play the politics of these things. Um, what was unfortunate about the COVID year is every school, it felt like, was handling COVID differently.
Right,
We were all supposed to be playing by the same rules, but we weren't. And I go back to 2020 when COVID first hit.
right,
We were all supposed to be spaced out. My coaches, we took the paint, we drew X's 3 yards apart, and we made our kids stand on those X's with their water bottles, and we did all that.
right.
And then you go one county over, and it's like COVID never existed. You
Right,
know,
right,
it,
right, right.
I'm just telling you, we're trying our best to lift outside with free weights, and then these dudes are posting on social media, no mask, and they're busting it and looking like they're working out with Terry Crews, just sweating, you know. And, and so it's weird. I think it affected everybody differently. I think it hit us pretty hard, both in school and in extracurricular stuff. It all correlates. It all correlates. Culture was down, student participation, uh, uh, school spirit,
Right.
right? Simply because we put in some rules. Fern Creek High School put in some rules that other schools didn't, and they got frustrated. Now, I'll give you a quick example, and maybe I'm divulging too much.
Go ahead.
Y'all know all these kids get on social media. They know each other just through social media. Well, we didn't have a homecoming dance, okay, and we all understand why we didn't last year. There was a lot of things you had to do in order to get an event like that approved. But a couple other schools, even though we were all told not to do a homecoming dance, a couple of the schools did one. And so our kids got really upset and jealous through all what they're seeing on social media. So you know what they did?
What's
They
that?
made their own. They made their own dance in third period in the hallway. They had us. They had themselves a little homecoming dance off right there in the hallway, and that was an immediate reaction to
Right,
what other schools were allowed to do versus what they were allowed to do.
right. And you know what? One thing I could tell, well, we could tell, the culture and the culture and everything is very big. You know what I'm saying to you. If you just said it like a couple of times. So let's get into that. Let's get into the support that the community has for Fern Creek. Tell us about the community of Fern Creek that support you guys and that kind of stuff, Coach.
So we are lucky enough to be one of maybe 4 high schools in the city whose name is attached to the community it lives in, right? So there's a lot of community pride in Fern Creek. We have the Fern. I mean, everything. The entire communal hub is right there by our school. You got the post office, you got the community center, you got the fire department. It's all right there. So we are spoiled with community support. We have an alumni association that donates to us every year. They're super supportive. Fern Creek Christian Church. I don't know I could survive coaching football without the people at Fern Creek Christian. Uh, they feed our kids every week. They just took 4 of our boys on a mission trip to the Dominican Republic. They took them with them. All the kids had to do is get their passport. They paid for their plane ticket, but everything else was paid by the church, and it was just a wonderful experience. So we really leaned on the community aspect of it over the last 6-7 months to try to reignite that pride, right? You want to talk about school spirit, man? Don't even mention the 1990s Creek Dogs, right? Those dudes, hey, those dudes hit me up all the time, man, and they very much want to see their alma mater succeed in athletics. You know, So there's all kinds of support. I'm spoiled with it. I've said it before. I say it again. It's tough coaching in Jefferson County
Right.
with all the struggles that we have. But me being able to lean on our community support, it does wonders for us.
Was going to hit the alumni, but the Creek Dogs, the Creek Dogs existed when I was at Mayo. And you know what I'm saying? In the 92 is when I graduated, so 91. Yeah. And you know what? That was one of the hardest places to play at Fern Creek, and that, like, because the support you guys have had, and I'm glad you said that, because like I said, I was going to ask you, how was the alumni and former players and things like that, because Fern Creek has had some many talented players that come through there.
Yeah, those guys there, I mean, they have high expectations for you. And a few years back when we were really, really tough and we were making deep runs in the playoffs, it was always fun to see those guys out at Roosters or
Right.
wherever, and these guys would come and talk to you and be like, what was the funnest part about it was when they were trying to compare the teams and tell you that the 95 team would have beat that year's team. That
Right.
was always fun, right?
Right.
But no, that's athletics has always been important at Fern Creek. When athletics is successful, we think the school is successful. So I'm spoiled that I have, in my opinion, the best athletic director in the city of Louisville with Troy Johnson. He's been there for years, super tenured. He's well respected in the community. So I'm lucky enough that he supports us 110%. Uh, and he coached at Fern Creek. He coached Mario and Maurice and KJ Black and those guys. So there's always those dudes coming back and talking. And like I said, Mario was actually supposed to speak to our guys today at camp, and we had to shuffle some things around. So he's going to come next week. So again, those guys stay involved, and they really put the pressure on me to be successful.
That's good stuff, Coach. That's really good. Check us out, Coach. Give us some players that maybe people don't know about, but they're gonna know about this year, offense and defense.
So we'll start on defense. You got to start off with the kid, Ramari Taylor. Ramari plays DB, plays corner for us. We haven't had we've been plagued with 5'7" corners for a little while. We had one a couple years ago that went on to Indiana State. He was incredibly good. He was an All-State honorable mention, Bashawn Green.
Right.
This is likely the best one since then. He's incredibly athletic. He's about 6'3". His arms hang down past his knees, and he is a true corner. He's a true corner. He should have a really good year. We really expect to have a good year, and he'll get tested because we scrimmage PRP. So the kid that just signed for UK, guess where we're going to put him, right?
When is this?
It is
PRP. When is this?
August 12th.
Oh, yes, sir.
At Fern Creek.
Yes, sir.
We will be there.
Yeah.
We will be in the building.
Absolutely.
We will be in the building, Coach.
So come, man. Like I said, we're trying to blow this thing up, man. We need people in the stands. We're hosting that game, and we've always scrimmaged PRP, so it should always be a fun contest. So Ramari Taylor's probably one on defense to talk about. Josiah Eubanks, he's a kid that came to us from Dawes last year.
Okay.
Strong player. He's just now kind of starting to learn our system, but once he does, so it'll be a good year. And then Kendrick Johnson, he's a defensive tackle, real big kid, space eater. He really worked his butt off in the offseason, and I think he should have a really successful year. Maybe not in terms of tackles. We like our linemen to kind of occupy gaps and free up the linebackers to go make plays, but he should have a good year. Offensively, that's a really tough question because we don't have any kid right now that's really sticking out.
Okay.
Not yet. I do have a feeling though that when the lights come on those Friday nights, there's going to be one or two dudes that are going to turn some heads. I don't want to jinx it yet.
Right.
I don't really know. I don't know if these guys are true Friday night gamers. But all of our kids on offense right now are right at the same level. and that might be a good thing. Maybe they're all competing to be the alpha male on offense, and it's only going to drive up their level of success.
Right. Coach, we had a ruling, I think probably last month or whatever, about, no pretty much busing type thing. And I know that, what I'm saying, there's a lot of optimal league out there, Fern Creek area and stuff like that. How does that affect you as far as getting these kids in, or are you happy? I mean, how do you feel about that ruling, and what would that do to your program? Would it, would it enhance it?
So I get to say this because I've been here for.
Hold on, Coach, real quick. And also, you guys are traditional, right?
Not anymore. We lost that tag a couple years ago.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I can go on for hours about this, boys. But y'all don't want me to go on that long, okay? Well,
Come on, Coach.
Give Roosters
a brief, Coach. A brief synopsis. Come on.
Meet me at Roosters on Saturday night. We'll talk about it. Okay. No. What I will tell you, recruiting in high school is a thing. We all know it is, right? You can't deny that it is. Some schools have to recruit so they have kids. And early on, when Fern Creek enrollment was down and the school didn't have the best perception of out in the public,
right.
It was relatively easy to get kids to come into Fern Creek High School. We have a great Ivy Plus program. It's a program for first gen college students. It's a great deal. Okay, so it happens. Well, when the district started kind of tightening the reins, we stopped actually trying to get kids away from other schools, and we just went out and started to try to keep our kids from going to other schools.
Right.
You go back to the community thing. We're lucky enough that Fern Creek is we do get kids from 40291 and 40218. So Ramsey and Newburgh are our feeder schools.
Yes, sir.
But a lot of the Ramsey kids somehow end up at like Eastern, and then a lot of the Newburgh kids wind up at Manual because of the MST program.
Right.
So you really got to fight to make sure that you keep the kids in your area that you can. You go back to this busing rule. I think you can say the same thing about it as you do any other rule. So long as it's applied equally and fairly, I'll roll with it. I'll do what I got. I'm an arrogant enough coach. I'm going to turn out some players regardless of what school they came from.
Right.
But what you can't do is bend the rules because this school is a certain way and this school is a different way. So long as there's some fidelity in how they implement this new rule change, I'm fine with it. But that's the issue, right? Is not everybody thinks that it's going to be an even playing field.
Right. So, Coach, if it's one thing you could do to improve Kentucky high school football, what would it be?
It's always the playoffs. It's the playoff system. It's how we do things. A couple years ago, we finally started the RPI, right? Mr. Tackett came up with the RPI system, and then it was great, and everyone loved the metric, except when we only used it for the third round of playoffs, or no, the fourth round of playoffs. So I understand why the Kentucky High School Athletic Association structures the playoffs as they do. They want to see a different school from each region in the semifinals. But I don't think that that's really good for football. Competition breeds success, and so I don't care if the two teams in the same district are in the semifinals together. They were the two best teams in that region. They should go.
Right.
They should go.
Right.
So you've got this RPI system. Seed everybody and let's go play. Seed everybody and let's go play. They always bring up the transportation issue. I promise you, if your team is making playoffs, you're going to find a way to get them where they need to go. You're always going to find a way. So they might be able to improve too if we went from 6 to 5. If we went down to 5 classes, when I think when we were in school there were 4.
Yes, sir.
Sir. But if you go from we went from 4 to 6 and no buffer in between. If we went to 5 classes, the top 4 teams make playoffs and you RPI seeded, I think that might be the best thing for high school football in Kentucky.
I like that, Coach, because like you said, let's get the true champion. why should and I'm gonna be honest because I can say it. You know what I'm saying? Let's if the two, I ain't gonna say two. If the top 5 teams is in the city of Louisville, then let them have an opportunity to go ahead. You know what I'm saying? And do it instead of spreading them out or knocking each other out at the beginning. So you know what I'm saying? So we don't have it, and we try to set up private schools versus other stuff, to meet up and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's obvious, you know what I'm saying, and it's been obvious. And I mean, I'm with you, like for instance, high school basketball. They ain't gonna,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? The best school,
Right.
the best team is gonna play each other. Now they do have it where they break it up with the different regions and stuff like that. And that supposedly shaking in the bag and put the 7th region versus the 6th region
Yeah. Oh
all
yeah.
the time and all that kind of stuff. We know what you're doing. But nah, and I know that can be frustrating as a coach and to see that happening and things like that. But I mean, I'm with you on that, Coach. I can see that. I mean, it's supposed to be the end all be all, but it's not because you got a lot of talented teams in the 502.
Well, and you look and how many times have you seen two teams from the same district who are incredibly tough? And it happened to Central,
Right,
right? Central is one of the top 4 teams in that class, but they just happen to be in the same district as the top team in that class.
right,
With Franklin County.
right.
And in 6A ball, a couple years ago we had a really tough team that took nail down to the wire on 2 different occasions, but we had to meet in the second round of playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, in my opinion, the best district in football, full stop, is 6A District 3, which is Butler, Manual, PRP, and St. X.
Yeah,
You've got some strong teams right there, especially this season. That one of these teams, one of the teams that arguably is a top 5 team,
right.
isn't going to make it because they're going to have to see, male,
But
possibly second round,
But
right?
you know what's so crazy about that, Coach? You remember, like when we was going, well, the district, was Manual Male Saint X. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep,
it was like that, like yeah,
that was a district.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean that's crazy in itself. And no, you're right. That's a tough district. What you just said right off the top. That's and
Yeah.
I don't understand like what's the rhyme and reason. How can you have like I said, male manual, Saint X? I think Front Creek was in that district, wasn't it?
Our
Back
district
in
is.
the day, back in the day, and I know it's difficult.
Oh yeah, no. Back in the day, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. No, they were in the district with Ballard, Eastern, Trinity.
Okay,
I think Wagner. They
okay.
were they were the east side of Louisville district, but the west side, Male, Manual, Saint X, Atherton, Doss, and Doss had some really tough teams there in the
Uh,
early 2000s for sure, right? So yeah, you're exactly right.
my thing is, coach is like, and I mean, you know what we're gonna do for all the coaches who've been on here. We're gonna bring in the AD, even though she don't have probably nothing to do with it. But we're gonna bring out that director of Jefferson County Public Schools so we can go ahead and pepper her. And she's a male grad. We're gonna bring her on so we can have some. We would definitely open up the floodgates for all the coaches who got some questions. And you ain't look, y'all don't even have to answer like put your name. All you gotta do is inbox us, and we were asking for you guys. We'll have the sheet of paper, we rock and roll, you know what I'm saying, that kind of stuff, because there's some things that need to be answered point blank, Coach. Let's do it this way, Coach. You already talked about Maine a little bit, but let Fern Creek and everybody get a chance to know about you. Um, how were you when you started playing sports, and what were the sports that you played, Coach?
My dad ran Highview Athletic League for 25 years. He was
Oh,
the
wow.
league president. Yeah, he was the league president for 25 years. So I played the main 3 sports, right, for all the way up until I was in high school. Basketball, baseball, football. I was no good at basketball. I had one of those shots where my jump shot was behind the head and I just released it. But I was no good at basketball. I played baseball for a little bit my freshman year until Joe Nichols, who was my football coach, came to me and said, "Hey, I think you really just need to stick with football. I think you got a future in it." And so I did. Um, so yeah, I played those three sports, obviously in rec ball all the way through up until high school. Quit baseball freshman year and then went straight, full time football. Did that for the 4 years in Manual. Like I said, fortunate enough to get some time, very, very early. I was a sophomore starter on that 2001 team with Keenan and all those really good studs back then, Richard Ballard, those guys. And then after that, I went to Kentucky Wesleyan College in Owensboro, and played my ball there for 4 years. Played again offensive line, guard, and center. Left there in 2008. I tried the GA thing a little bit, just kind of wasn't my thing. I wanted to go get a teaching job. That's what my passion was. So I was on at Apollo High School with Paul Bates for one off season. Moved back into Louisville, and before I knew it, I was back in my alma mater coaching. Offensive line at Manual for a couple years. So I was at Manual for 3 years. Joe ended up getting a job at Fern Creek, so I popped over here with Joe, and that's all she wrote.
Wow. Hey, that was kind of impressive rundown. Normally I go ahead and chop people at the feet, but that was kind of impressive rundown, Coach. I have to admit, I don't know if you've been watching the show a little bit. I don't know if you did a little prep homework, but that was kind of nice little rundown. I have to give you your props on that.
I got to do the homework. I'm just there. I just got to be prepared. My kids are probably watching this. So if I look like a fool, they're going to give me the business tomorrow at practice. So I got to.
You rocking and rolling. They ain't gonna say that. Mark, you got any questions?
Shoot, he ran everything down right there so fast. It's like, what? He answered that one. He answered that one. So you never wanted to play on the defensive side of the ball?
I played defensive end my freshman year, and my head coach was at Manual at my freshman year was Jerry Mays, and I played defensive line, and it just so happened it was one of those things you kind of weighed out the depth chart. You saw what was in front of you as a sophomore on D line. I saw what was in front of me as a offensive lineman, so I went over there, and it was actually kind of a crazy story how I ended up starting. My sophomore year. The starter in front of me had bruised his knee in pregame warmup, and it was the Wave 3 game of the week against South Odom. And so I actually had to switch my jersey number. I was still wearing 93, which was just a defensive line number.
Right.
I'm a dumb sophomore. I don't know I can't wear a 93 as an offensive lineman. So I had to switch jerseys with one of my teammates who called himself Fat Rob. So me and Fat Rob switched jerseys. I'm wearing a 3X jersey as a sophomore, my sophomore starter. But now I played a little bit of defense, but my passion's on the offensive line.
Right, second quarterback. Coach, I have to ask you this because we used to hear stories at Mel bringing back the Burrow. And, from the 80s, you know what I'm saying, early 80s, because, we didn't do it too much in the 90s and late 80s, stuff like that. Let me ask you, and that's not a dig, I'm just saying, like when I tell people, I done had so many people on, I just talk to them, I'm like, I saw the Bird all the time. But let me ask you, you are the first one I can truly ask this to. And hopefully we'll have some more Crimson Tides on here and all that kind of like that. Let me ask you this. How was that pep rally when them dudes had to bring that barrel to you guys? Did they still do that where the male people had to bring the barrel to, or did they cut that down? Because it used to be, if you lost, the senior captains and stuff or whatever had to bring the barrel back doing a pep rally. So hopefully things change. That can get ugly. Yeah. But anyway, how was that, Coach?
So I only saw the barrel change hands the one time. When I was the coach at Manual, we had actually won the 3 years that I was there. We'd actually
Right.
beat Mel those 3 years. So I only got to see the barrel exchange one time, and that was sophomore year. And I believe it was Casey Shoemate, who was U of
Woo!
A. Yeah, I think he had to come in there and bring the barrel in with one other guy. And I can tell you this, all I remember thinking is, man, I don't want to be those dudes, because manual kids are great and we're all smart and nerds and
Right.
whatnot, but dude, they were ruthless. They were savages when these guys were coming in with the barrel. They had to come in through this gym door, and it was wild. I don't know if they still do it or not. You're ashamed nowadays, but
Right.
yeah, in 2001.
Oh, come on. Don't do that. Don't freeze up on us like that. Can you hear us, Coach?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, okay. Uh, you know what? And
I don't know where I lost you.
no, my thing is that kind of scared us because we heard the stories because early '80s and stuff like that. Mel wasn't that good. They resurrect themselves. But you heard the stories. You heard about the dog biscuits, and throwing it, all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, man, I'm not trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to do that. But hey, woo wee! I don't, like you said, Coach. I don't know how you can get away with that ritual in this day because they don't tell them what you. I mean, that's like you said. That's some shame stuff going on. So let me, Coach. Well, granted, what I'm saying, Manuel Mel. Who is Fern Creek's rival?
So there's a barrel, much like the one, Mel Manual, that was Fern Creek Moore. And apparently, way back in the day, Moore was a big rival with Fern Creek, but we haven't played Moore in at least 10 years, it feels like. So um, we always had a really, really competitive thing with Seneca. We shared the same kids. We're on Bardstown Road. So that really is a rivalry, but there a couple years ago, right after Coach Boyd left, and the program kind of started going downhill. They didn't want to play anymore. So if you had to ask me for a rivalry right now, simply because they're in our district in all three sports, it's probably Bullitt East. Bullitt East is in our district for football. They're in our district for basketball and baseball. They're also down Bardstown Road. They're just down 10 minutes in Mount Washington.
Right.
So I think if you ask our kids who the rivalry would be, I think it would probably be Bullitt East. Um, but we've actually had that conversation several times in the school. Like, man, we got to get a rivalry reestablished here. We want Seneca to continue to improve so we can get that game back on the schedule, because that really should be a big rivalry. I know when I first took over, those first 3-4 years, Coach Boyd was playing or coaching over there. That was always the first game of the year, and our stadium would be popping. It was live. It's where everybody wanted to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I don't know. Maybe it's good this board's not on there no more. I can say that. I can say it. Coach didn't say it. I said it. Don't get mad. None of that kind of stuff. Without a doubt. All right. Hit a minute, Mark.
All right, Coach, it's the time for you to thank everybody who's always been in your corner.
Hey, you're only what they say. A man is only as strong as the woman that's behind him, right? Or well, I don't even know the damn phrase. But my wife works at Fern Creek. She works there as well. That's how we met. She's always been incredibly supportive of me, and I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do without her support. I've got 2 kids now, and they're young, and she's got to do all the things with those guys while I'm at practice. So the wife becomes number one. My athletic director, again, I said it before, Troy Johnson. He's just a great mentor to me. He's always been that way. He kind of helps me see big picture, see the political side of things, see the sports side of stuff, the administrative stuff. So I've always been, appreciative of him. And then pretty much the staff, any guys that have been, with me through the years. I'm fortunate enough that I've had, pretty consistent staff. Brandon Meredith, Justin Brown, Kenny Talley, these guys have been with me for a long time. The Stoners, that are Emmanuel now, were with me. Been
Right.
good friends with them, best friends with them for years. And it was only recently that we kind of, split ways, and he went over there. That's fine. That's great. I'm proud of him.
Right.
So any guys that have been with me, supporting me and helped me do this thing for years, I'm always appreciative of them. And then just the kids that do the right things, the kids that make it fun to coach. That's who it's about. So I've always loved and appreciated those guys. We welcome them back all the time. I've got 6 alumni on staff now.
Right.
And it just goes to show you that, again, going back to that community pride that you had mentioned, man, they love the school. They value the time they had with us. And it means a lot to me that they've come back and are coaching there.
Love that. Love that, Coach. Coach definitely would be there. And I probably hit your DMU to let you know for that scrimmage because what we like to do is Mark is going to probably be in the stands because his son is on PRP, but I'm going to probably I get with you because I want to be on the field and taking pictures and stuff like that of Fern Creek and PRP game like that. So I'll get with you on that, and anytime I can come out, definitely Mark and I, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you what. I don't know what you was talking about. That you was too nervous, and that you didn't know you was ready to be coach. You knocked it out of the park. Back to back days, we done had coaches knock it out of the park. You did your thing tonight, coach.
So I told Dante Ellison, told Coach Ellison, I said, man, I don't watch the NBA. These guys talk about the NBA. I don't watch it. I'm not an NBA guy. You want to talk about NFL or college basketball, I will talk about it with you.
Yeah.
But I'm nervous they're going to ask me some NBA questions.
Nah.
And he's like, oh, no, Coach, they're not going to ask you that. We're good. So,
Yeah.
hey, once I found that out, I'm good.
But see, and that's the thing about it. We want everybody to get to know the programs. Now, when you come back on the show again, now it's gonna be some.
Yeah, it's different.
Coach, what do you think about this type of stuff? Yeah, to get you because the whole thing, Coach, is to get everybody, not just Fern Creek, but Fern Creek too, but everybody get to know their leaders of their schools and programs. So everybody sees some coaches and they think they're unapproachable. They standoffish, all that kind of stuff like that. But you know what? Coach is doing a job. He's taking care of these kids. So let's see what coach is up to.
Yep.
And see the other kind of side of coach. So that's the thing about our show with the coaches and the players. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get the players back on football, basketball, baseball, everything else like that. We try to make ourselves a platform for 502 for the state of Kentucky because we got a lot of Lexington schools and Shelby County schools like that too. We just want to give everybody a platform where you can speak and be yourself. And we want to say that, man, thank you for being on here tonight because you really knocked it out of the park, you know what I'm saying, and gave us a vision about Fern Creek High School.
Well, I appreciate it. And to be honest, I was only recently, last couple of months, exposed to your all show. I was able to watch with Dante, it's a buddy of mine. And I watched Coach Dick was on. And I believe I might have even popped in for the one with Coach Jackson. I'm always going to watch the one when you got Coach Wolf on. I got to see if he gives me any information on the
Bulldogs. Hey, Coach Wolf, yes, sir.
But no, you all did a great job. I think this is incredibly important for the community. I love when you all get the kids on. I think it's great. It gives them their 15 minutes and kind of helps them even prepare for, hopefully a college press conference, something of the sort. So I appreciate you guys having me on. You guys are awesome. And you got a fan of me, I'll be watching every week.
Hey, thank you, Coach. Coach, hey, Coach, before we let you go, we'll see you in about a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Let me know, baby.
I got you. Thanks, Coach.
See you guys. Thank you.
That's why we do the show.
Yes, sir.
Hats off, man.
Yeah.
Hats off, bro. I mean, that right there, man. I mean, are you serious?
I didn't know he was young like that, neither.
Love it, man. Hey, that's why we do this for you guys. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all say, hey, man, y'all talk, look. People are trying to do, they're not because we hitting everything. Coach. That right there, man, he knocked it out of the park.
Yes, sir.
And thank you. Fern Creek got a good leader.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing that a lot of these schools got some dudes in places.
Right.
And I hope, everybody can't win every game. But you got to look past, like, how's it going? How's he communicating? How's he getting these boys? Are they going to college? Are they taking care of schoolwork there?
Right.
And, hey, man, thank you, Coach, for being on here. And these coaches make this easy for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
They can be like, man, you ain't talking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? They got something. And we got something y'all probably not, but we coming for y'all. We are coming for y'all. So you know what's going on. Who's up next?
Right.
Point blank.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good weekend.
Always, hey, bang, bang. Boogie, baby.
It's 8 p.m. Crease. Let's get it. Mark and Will, yeah. Mark and Will, yeah. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Monday through Friday, player. Watch it while you on the go. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Catch them at 8 p.m. They gon' tell you what they know. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Monday through Friday, player. Watch it while you on the go. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Catch them at 8 p.m. They gon' tell you what they know.